So building on the automation theme, and I've seen Dr. Reid before at IIeX, I believe, in Amsterdam. Yeah. So introducing from Sentient Decision Science, the title's up there, they're up on the screen, Dr. Owen Reed. Thank you. Nice to see you.
First, I want to recognize a few people from Sentient who are in the audience today. Joe Sauer, Senior Vice President, who leads our London office. Dr. Cyrus McCandless, who's been doing some incredible work applying implicit research to the entire sensory spectrum: sight, sound, taste, touch. And Christina Lupi, who is responsible for getting our message out to the industry and educating everyone on the advantages of behavioral science. And I want to thank everybody else back at headquarters and our offices who are doing all of the work that you're seeing here today. I'm the lucky one who gets to present it, but without all of your work, none of this would be possible. So it's been an incredible journey, 11 years. I think we've done a great thing for the industry, along with many others in this room, and we're just getting started. So thank you. Also, thank you to Green Book. How exciting is it to bring IIeX Behaviour to London? It's been successful in the US for about 5 years now. It's really exciting to see this expand globally. Thank you for all of your help and your great work. You are making a big difference in this industry. You're a visionary leader. Thank you, Green Book. I'm going to show you some pictures. Don't get emotional. Want to do that again? Don't feel good. Don't feel scared. Don't feel good. Don't feel scared. Don't feel good. Don't feel scared. What happens there when somebody tells you to do something and you have a different reaction in your mind? It's cognitive dissonance. This idea of what happens automatically in your mind. You hear this theme here today. You can measure the automatic emotional response to some of that imagery using biometrics, the actual physiological response. However, you can have an emotional association with those images without a physiological response that's discernible in the sweat of in your palms. And that's an important distinction that I want to make here today. There's a difference between anticipatory emotions and anticipated emotions. And I'm going to focus on both anticipatory and anticipated emotions and show you how measuring both of those is going to give you a different insight into what's happening in creative marketing communications. So let's start by watching a video advertisement. And just as we watch this, think about how it makes you feel, and think about how it makes you feel about the brand. Two different things.
In Austin, it's 60 degrees with a Alexa?
Amazon's Alexa lost her voice this morning, causing
Alexa lost her voice? How is that even possible?
We have the replacements ready, just say the word.
You're sure this is going to work?
Yeah.
Alexa, show me a recipe for a grilled cheese sandwich.
Pathetic. You're 32 years of age and you don't know how to make a grilled cheese sandwich. Its name is the recipe, you
Alexa, how far is Mars?
How far is Mars? Well, how am I supposed to know? I've never been there. There's not going to go to Mars. What? There's not even oxygen there.
Alexa, set the mood.
Now setting the mood. You're in the bush. And you're just so dirty. And so sweaty. It's hot in that bush.
Alexa, reboot.
Alexa, play some country music.
Oh,
Now, I make money moves.
No, Alexa, country music.
What's the call, Brandon?
I'm afraid Brandon is a little tied up. But do let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Jessica? Good boy.
thanks, guys. But I'll take it from here.
We're on a Westworld theme here. How did that make you feel? A lot of laughter, right? How did it make you feel about the brand? I'm going to come back to that in a second. Before tackling automation and market research, which is our current trend, I want to tackle automaticity in the human mind. And these two concepts are related. I read a paper back in 1999, I believe. It was Chartrand and Barge. It was called The Unbearable Automaticity of Being. And it changed my thinking on thinking. And the idea was often we are influenced by things that happen automatically in our mind without our conscious control. And this has benefits for us as humans. Automaticity actually is the foundation for sentience. Without automatic processes in our mind, we're not able to be sentient. Sentience is the foundation for empathy. Without sentience, we're not able to have empathic feelings towards others. So automation enables empathy in the human mind. This is also true in our industry. Automation in market research enables empathy for the consumer. Automation is a good trend in our market. Let me show you some great examples of automation currently happening in market research. Survey question design. This has been automated. This allows us to focus on analytics, on insight. Decipher has done a great job automating individual survey question design. You want that kind of insight? Here's the question, push your button, and it's in your study. Dappercy has automated dashboard reporting. So your data, you're not spending your time creating charts. You are spending your time analyzing the data for insights into how the consumer feels. Zappy Store has automated full study design, from the research question to the automation of sampling to the delivery of insights reports. That allows us to do more system two thinking as researchers and provide more value to our clients. And Bera, as an example, has automated brand tracking and the driver's analyses within a syndicated brand research report. These are really good advances for our industry, but there's a problem here, and that's where I think the future of the industry intersects. It's automation and behavioral science intersecting that is what's going to define the future of our industry. We can't simply accelerate the delivery of inaccurate insights to our clients. That is a fast track to irrelevance. We can automate, but we have to automate behavioral science, not the methods that are providing inadequate insights. And that intersection of automation and behavioral science will define the future of our industry. So let me show you some tools for automating behavioral science in your market research. Again, there's a lot of great work that's been done in this area. Automating and scaled eye tracking. Sticky is doing a great job in automating the measurement of eye tracking using webcams. And I love this example because when they first came out with the technology 3 or 4 years ago, the use rate was really, really low. It was about 5% usable data. And those skeptics said, oh, that's never going to take on. But as we put more and more data into that system, the software improves, the technology improves. The use rates are significantly higher now and very practical for market research. IC is another example of a company that's doing a great job automating and scaling eye tracking. In the facial coding area, Affectiva has done a great job automating facial coding, the measurement of the measurement of expression of emotion on the face. IC also measures facial coding and integrates it with their eye tracking, and Realize does a great job automating facial coding. And then in the implicit association space, there are a lot of good providers, many here in the room, who are doing implicit association testing. Here's an example from our work. This is Sentient Prime, which has automated the design and delivery of non-conscious association measurements using a priming and response time technology. You can see here, as it goes here on the screen, there's a three-dimensional space where people are sorting emotions, positive and negative, away from themselves or toward themselves in a natural approach and avoidance gesture. And then we introduce something that's called a prime, and that prime influences the speed with which you can make that judgment, telling us what happens automatically in your mind without asking you any questions. So you'll recognize some of these images. We're going to measure 3 things using this technology. The latency of the response, in milliseconds, the accuracy of the response, whether you're judging the emotion correctly or incorrectly, and then on touch devices, we're also measuring the velocity of the swipe, which is a third measure of your automatic reaction to the prime. You can use this to study brands in this case, but really anything where you have a visual or auditory stimulus. So those measures are really cool, but we have to get beyond cool measures to advance the industry. And if we want to have staying power, we have to move into a place where we're taking the best scientific principles, best theory in psychological science, and applying our research methods to that theory. So I want to give you one example of this, and this is in this room. I think many can advance on these ideas, and I'll show you just this one example today. This is for ad testing. This takes a theory of advertising effectiveness called the attention, affect, memory, and desirability model, the theoretical model, and it applies these scaled, automated behavioral science techniques to each step of that process. So the first step is attention. We use eye tracking to measure attention to an ad. The second is affect. We use facial coding to measure the expression of emotion during the ad in an online scaled environment. These two steps in the process are really engagement or breakthrough. Is your advertisement going to break through the clutter? But that's only half of the equation. The second half is the anticipated emotions. We need to understand not only how consumers feel while they're watching an ad, we need to understand how they feel about your brand after watching an ad. So for memory, we use Sentient Prime and implicit association technique to measure encoding in memory. And then desirability, whether it actually influences, improves the perceptions of the brand. This is a combined System 1, System 2 decision-making model called the proportion of emotion model from Reid and Gonzalez-Vallejo, 2009. That tells us whether the ad has actually had an impact. We all want our content to be liked, but at the end of the day, we have to persuade in order to pay the bills. So if we can take that fundamental theory and apply our cool measures to it, automated behavioral science, we don't have to throw out everything we've done in the past. We can take the best of what we've done in the past and improve on it by improving our measures. The theory is sound. The measures can be improved. So let me illustrate this through a few examples. You've seen that ad there on the end. Let me show you a couple more. This is from Diet Coke.
Diet Coke Twisted Mango. Because, that's why. And numbers. Hey, still going. Maybe slowing it down. Maybe it's getting sexier. I don't know. Mango does.
That was an incredibly engaging ad for all the wrong reasons. You can't take your eyes off the screen, right? But is that improving perceptions of the brand? Well, let's see. Here's automated behavioral science answering that question. The heat map is eye tracking. It's what people are looking at while they watch the ad. We also want to know how much they're fixated on the screen. The line coming across the screen is the valence as captured by automated facial coding. This is how they're feeling moment by moment while they watch that ad. If it goes below 0, the net is negative. If it's above 0, it's positive. And now I'm going to drop in the norms from our database to show you how this ad performs on each of those areas of the model. It's in the 93rd percentile for attention. People's eyes are glued to the screen. You can't not watch it. It's highly emotional in both a positive and negative direction. But what's happening on memory? People don't remember that this is an ad for Diet Coke. So you've spent all that money engaging them in your creative, but don't have the impact on your brand. And desirability, it's below average in terms of lifting preference for Diet Coke. This ad has a certain problem that can be solved if you understand where in the process it's breaking down. Let me show you another one which has a different advantage and a different disadvantage. This is from Stella Artois.
Such a simple thing. Clean water at the turn of a tap. It's like magic. It takes no time at all. And yet millions of people in the developing world walk up to 6 hours every day for water. This chalice can change that. If just 1% of you watching this buys one, we could give clean water to 1 million people for 5 years. Join Stella Artois and water.org and help give back their precious time.
Now that ad is supposed to be emotional in another way, a different kind of way. Was it emotional? Let's see. Can we play that?
Such a simple thing. Clean water at the turn of a tap. It's like magic. It takes no time at all. and yet millions of people in the developing world walk up to 6 hours every day for water. This chalice can change that. If just 1% of you watching this buys one, we could give clean water to 1 million people for 5 years. Join Stella Artois and Water.org and help give back their precious time.
This ad has a different problem. It's above average in terms of attention because Matt Damon's right there. But look at the affect score. See how flat that is, right around 0? It's not emotionally engaging the audience. But it is very good on memory, and that's from that construct of taking the chalice and raising it up to Matt Damon's face. Everybody's focused on Matt Damon, and every time he raises that chalice, which is branded with Stella Artois, attention goes down to the chalice. So the memory of the brand is cemented to a greater deal in the memory structures of the consumer. Really strong in terms of memory. Thank you. I got one more. So let's go back to where we began with Alexa. Last one.
In Austin, it's 60 degrees with Alexa?
Amazon's Alexa lost her voice this morning, causing a
Alexa lost her voice. How is that even possible?
We have the replacements ready, you just say the word.
You're sure this is going to work?
Yeah.
Alexa, show me a recipe for a grilled cheese sandwich.
Pathetic. You're 32 years of age, and you don't know how to make a grilled cheese sandwich. Its name is the recipe, you...
Alexa, how far is Mars?
How far is Mars? What am I supposed to do? I've never been there. This guy ready to go to Mars. For what? There's not even oxygen there.
Alexa, set the mood.
Now setting the mood. You're in the bush, and you're just so dirty and so sweaty because it's hot in that bush.
Alexa, reboot.
Alexa, play some country music.
Down, dance down. I make money move.
No, Alexa, country music.
What's the call, Brandon?
I'm afraid Brandon is a little tied up. But do let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Jessica? Good boy.
Thanks, guys, but I'll take it from here.
Look at the scores on this one. Incredibly engaging, right? Very funny. Affect at 95th percentile. Attention, memory above average. They could do a better job cementing Alexa and the Amazon brand in that ad. And then desirability in the 76th percentile. So I'm going to jump to this last page and then hopefully take a question. Just to give you a sense of how this is being used, since it's automated, these studies can be turned in a matter of days, not weeks or months, with other types of testing. And it's being used by brands that you know to study the future of advertising. Turner is using this to study interactive ads and how interaction with ads and customizing your content can be make an ad more effective. Facebook is using this to determine the future of advertising. And Heineken is using this upstream at the stage of animatics, so insights professionals can have a bigger impact on the direction of the creative before you get to final copy where you have very little control. Can we take some questions?
Thank you, Aaron.